A very warm evening to you. Thanks for joining us in the news at 6 here on Superscreen television. I am Precious Amayo. We'll begin now in Nigeria, where Guinea-Bissau President Jose Mario Vaz says the purpose of his visit to President Muhammadu Buhari is to seek advice concerning the postponed election in his country. President Mario Vaz, who disclosed this while addressing journalists at the end of a closed-door meeting with President Buhari at the presidential villa, said the meeting was fruitful, stressing he is encouraged by the counseling he received from President Muhammadu Buhari. We'll bring you more details on this visit in a subsequent bulletin. And now on the Ogoni cleanup exercise, the federal government says it has generated over $180 million to start the cleanup of Ogoni in the next few weeks. Minister of State for Environment Ibrahim Usman, who disclosed this to journalists, said about 21 contractors will be on site as the procurement process reached the final advanced stage. The minister also enjoined all stakeholders, including affected communities, to continue to support and show more understanding for each free cleanup. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Adams Oshomole, says the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, is a disgrace to Nigeria's democracy. Oshomole, who disclosed this in a statement signed and issued by his chief press secretary, Simon Ebegbulem, said it is pathetic and irresponsible that the Senate President will resort to petty politics. He said Saraki has no moral grounds to call for his resignation, adding that he would sue Saraki if he fails to provide evidence that he took bribes from aspirants. You recall that Saraki had earlier said Oshomole has allegations of bribe-taking made by some governors from his party hanging on his neck. And now on the new national minimum wage, Nigerian governors said they cannot afford to pay workers a minimum wage of 30,000 naira unless the organized labor wants its members to be sacked. Chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, Abdulaziz Yari, who read the communique after the meeting of the governors, said a new committee would be raised to meet with President Muhammadu Buhari over the issue, adding that the committee would work out another formula towards quickly resolving the problem associated with the proposed minimum wage.
We lightly discussed, and we have seen what has been submitted to Mr. President as a report of the committee. And the member of the committee, the governor of Kebbi State, said, well, the committee did not take our submission of 22,500 because the submission came late. But I'm surprised. How can you do this without the state? Because we are the key critical people in this business.
Ahead of the 2019 general elections, the gubernatorial candidate of Advanced National Democratic Party, ANDP, Segun Musa, has called for issue-driven campaigns ahead of the 2019 election. Musa made this call in an interview with Superscreen's Mike Osemeke in Lagos State.
We are looking for issue-driven campaign. We are not interested in all these accusations and all these grudges and the rest of it. We are not interested in that. We are not interested in sentiment. We are interested in issues. We want to unfold what we have to offer Lagosians, so that Lagosians can realize that yes, truly, this is what we truly needed. They will begin to take ownership of this new regime. We know that Lagosians knows what they want. We believe the government in power will also ensure that during the election, nobody is intimidated. We ensure that the government in power, we ensure that the vote counts. We are more interested in ensuring that the vote counts.
Musa further tasked the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to ensure free and credible polls in 2019.
Hoping that INEC will try as much as possible to discourage the area of vote buying, thuggery. There should be enough security so that the real voters will not be deterred from coming to the polling station. We don't want a situation where voters will have to go and snap the picture of what they voted. We don't want a situation where people will be going to the polling station to go and see what anybody is the candidate any individual is voting for. We don't want a situation where people will start buying votes, canvassing votes at the polling station. Let people go there and vote for their conscience and vote for the future of their generation. We are resolute, we are determined, and we are focused, and we will make sure this vote counts.
And in Anambra State, the resumed sitting of the State House of Assembly has assumed a violent dimension as policemen blocked the entrance to the premises while also spraying tear gas into the atmosphere. According to report, no fewer than 300 policemen manned the assembly area from the Alex Ekweme Square entrance of the complex, denying workers of the judiciary and business owners entrance. The sitting is the first after the Speaker of the House, Rita Maduagu, was impeached. You recall that Maduagu was impeached on Tuesday, but she claimed that the impeachment did not satisfy the constitutional requirement of 2/3 majority for the removal of the Speaker of the House. And still on the news, the Nigerian police force has denied that its helicopter and a vehicle were used to convey cash for election. Force spokesman Jimoh Moshood, who disclosed this in a statement in Abuja, said the helicopters were deployed for surveillance and airlift of officers in the Saturday Ekiti Irekodun Oke Federal Constituency by-election. According to Moshood, the police helicopter and vehicle in the picture being circulated were not used to convey any cash, and the vehicle does not belong to Adelokwe as claimed. You will recall that some social media reports had alleged that a helicopter belonging to the force landed at St. Paul Primary School, Omaran Kwara, to offload cash into a vehicle belonging to Tunji Adelokwe, the All Progressives Congress candidate for the November 17 by-election in this state. And now to Edo State, over 3,000 members of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC in 2 major senatorial districts in Edo State have defected to the People's Democratic Party. Speaking with Superscreen, the defectors cited non-existing internal democracy and imposition within the party structure as reasons for leaving the party.
With few months to the 2019 general election, gale of defection continues to hit political parties across the state. In Edo State, pressure mounts more on the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, losing over 3,000 members from 2 major senatorial districts in Edo State to the People's Democratic Party PDP.
Intelligence to belong to such a body. Today, we are adopting PDP not because we want anything personal, but we want a situation whereby we want to tell the people that we have a program that whatever you think you are, deliver your village, and I'm ready to deliver on the control.
Today, I have decided to follow PDP. I am tired of what I'm seeing. All the promises, even the past and present government have given to us, all of them are fake.
Nigerians are tired of stories. A round of applause for that. 3 years, 4 years of APC, it has been blame game. Blame what? Game. PDP did that. This is why we are not performing. PDP did that. This is why we are not performing. And we said, when in 2015, I and those who believe in me, we went around, we campaigned, we sold those who said we should give them the mandate to rule over our country, and so we did. Thinking there was something new they were bringing. Little did we know that we were simply heading for a doom.
Receiving the defectors, PDP chairman in the state, Dan Ober, said their decision is a testimony of how hunger has ravaged the society, urging them to continue to work and believe in the objectives of the party.
The beauty of what we are witnessing today in Edo State is that while the PDP conducted very credible primaries, you cannot say that of the APC in Edo State. That is why on a daily basis we are getting invitations to receive members of APC who are aggrieved who are disappointed with the style of APC in the conduct of their primaries. Yes, so for me, I would like to really commend the members of APC who have come out today, not just to identify with us, but to support PDP as we prepare for the forthcoming election.
Politicians believe that defecting from a party to another is to establish their feet where they can be relevant.
Away from that report now, Nigerians have been asked to remember God at every stage of their lives. Christians believe the fastest way to see God's intervention is through praises and worship. Superscreen's Blessed Omonose, who participated in such atmosphere in praise and worship in Lagos, now reports.
As Nigeria prepares for yet another election, citizens, especially Christians, have intensified efforts at seeking God's intervention for peace to continue to reign in the country. At this gathering, these Christians from the Redeemed Christian Church of God, My Father House, in Okota, rendered praises to God with guest artist Mercy Chinwu leading them in the spirit of worship. The convener, Minister Sam, expressed delight at the large turnout of Christians, just as these participants shared their experience.
When you come and you worship God, you don't expect money, you don't expect wealth, you expect God. And once you can get God, every other thing comes. So we expect God tonight.
Atmosphere of worship brings an array of great talents, upcoming, upwardly mobile young guys who are doing well for themselves. So we're here to celebrate and to rejoice with them.
When you worship God, anything can happen with an open spirit. So that believers, we gather as children of God, sing unto Him and worship Him. God, by His infinite mercy, can release His blessing upon us.
We always look forward to seeing the presence of the Lord fill the house, and then people get blessed in the place of worship.
We offer a sacrifice of worship, not from our lips, not from our
As Nigerians look forward to the 2019 general elections, the need for Nigerians to seek for spiritual intervention through praises and worship to God cannot be overemphasized. And with the outcry of these worshippers, hopes are high for continuous peace in the country. Blessed Omonose, reporting for Superscreen News.
Another story now, as Nigeria joins the international community to observe World Diabetes Day, World Health Organization WHO has promised to support the federal government in prevention and control of diabetes, as well as other non-communicable diseases in the country. Regional Director for Africa, Machidi Somoeti, gave this assurance during a media briefing on World Diabetes Day in Abuja. The regional director, who was represented by Clement Peter, said WHO in the Africa region has made the fight against diabetes and non-communicable diseases a priority. According to him, creation of public education and awareness campaign to empower individuals and families with information and education on how to prevent diabetes should be paramount at all levels.
Governments should accelerate access to such services for everyone through people-centered primary health care and universal health coverage. WHO will continue to support governments to improve the prevention and control of diabetes and other non-communicable diseases. I urge everyone to eat healthy, be physically active, and avoid excessive weight gain.
You're still watching News at 6 on Superscreen television. We'll take a break now and we'll return with business news. Stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now on business news. The Senate says it has uncovered illegal withdrawal of $1.05 billion from the dividend accounts of the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas (NLNG) by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC). Chairman, Senate Committee on Gas, Basi Akman, who disclosed this to journalists, said the alleged illegal withdrawal by the NNPC through the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) was discovered in the course of an ongoing investigation by his panel on the $1.05 billion. According to Akban, NNPC GMD had explained that the $1.05 billion was withdrawn to bridge the gap of losses being suffered by the corporation on landing cost of imported fuel, which is 185 naira compared to the pump price of 145 naira. You recall that the Akban panel was mandated by the Senate 2 weeks ago to probe the $1.05 billion which NNPC withdrew from the account in April this year without authorization by relevant authorities. And still on business now on the agricultural sector, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Ibrahim Musa, says Niger State needs help from the World Bank-sponsored FADAMA program to reactivate 17 irrigation schemes and improve mechanization to encourage youth and women involvement in agriculture. Musa, who disclosed this to reporters, said FADAMA had encouraged irrigation farming by revitalizing some irrigation projects, noting that agricultural production all year round could not be achieved by relying only on rainfall. According to him, Niger State has about 17 irrigation projects and almost all of them are in dilapidated state. But FADAMA has reactivated some of the irrigation schemes, adding that the World Bank is expected to assist in mechanization in the next phase of FADAMA to make agricultural activities easy for farmers. And now on the stock market, the Nigerian Stock Exchange NSE has fined 4 companies of 127.2 million naira for failure to adhere to best corporate governance practices and refusal to submit their accounts and operational reports as at when due. Data obtained from the exchange shows that Eco Corp owes 75.6 million naira, Academy Press owes 35 million naira, Premier Paints owes 11.2 million naira, and Austin Lars owes 5.4 million naira. According to the rules for filing of accounts and treatment of default filing and the rule book, if an issuer fails to file the relevant accounts by the expiration of the cure period, the exchange will send to the issuer a second filing deficiency notification within 2 business days after the end of the cure period. The rules also add that trading in the issuer securities will be suspended and the Securities Exchange Commission and the market will be notified within 24 hours of the suspension. We'll take another quick break now, and up next is foreign news and sports. Stay with us.